Well, the last individual that I'm going to welcome up here tonight is also a member of the Clarion Wrestling program. He compiled a 111.35 record that is 10th all-time. He's a 1995 Division I All-American, three-time PSAC champion, an EWL champion, helped the team to 2 EWL team titles, and yet his sporting career after wrestling had nothing to do with wrestling. It was all about rugby. Dan Payne. How
many athletes are here?
I'm not sure, actually. So, Dan, my first question to you is, do you know what time zone you're in right now?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Do you want to share that? Or?
Eastern time zone. Okay. 2 hours different from Mountain Standard because my son's naps. I know them.
Second, do you have any Delta Sky Miles that you would like to gift to someone that you may have just met?
I earned 160,000 United Sky Miles last year, so I have United Sky Miles, which doesn't help anybody out here, though.
No, not here.
Yeah.
So talk about your recruitment to Clarion. You were recruited by Bubb, and like Ken, I suspect he means a lot to you.
Yeah, I think he's every wrestler that's in here is here because of Bubb, without fail. Even if you're here 15 or 20 years after, the legacy and the tradition and everything that he built when he was here throughout his tenure has transcended time. It's phenomenal. So we'll talk about that at the end, but I haven't been able to thank him formally, so we can just give Coach a special round of applause wherever he is. You'll have to stand up at the end.
Let's talk about your transition to college from high school. Is there anything that sticks out when you made that trip to Clarion and those first couple practices, that first camp?
No, I think, and I'm going to be boring tonight, I'm going to say a lot of thank yous, but I think one of the things that sticks out for me is I had come here for wrestling camp from the time I was in about 6th grade to 10th or 11th grade, and when I had the opportunity to come down on a visit, we walked around the corner, and I still remember walking in the office, and Coach Bubb was sitting there, and there was a little guy that some people know from Clarion, Kurt Angle, was sitting there, and he had just won his second national title, I think, probably 3 weeks earlier. And I walked in, and there wasn't, my mind was made up at that point, just because of a lot of
sales pitch.
Yeah, the sales pitch was over. The chance to come down and be a part of the history and the legacy. And I was a country kid from Western New York that Syracuse and Pitt and some of those other places were pretty intimidating to me. When I came into Clarion, the truth was that there were quite a few stoplights in this town. That's how I looked at it. And obviously, I should have married Nellie's wife because I was 5 years and gone. But because there was more to see and more to do. But that was a city to me when I first came to Clarion.
One of the parts of Clarion you got to see pretty often was Toby Hill.
I thought you were going to say the Loomis.
That's probably in there.
It's still
too.
there, which is great.
I'm talking about your conditioning runs on Toby Hill. What were those like?
It was phenomenal, and it's pretty applicable. Toby Hill, we used to have to run it 3 days a week, 3 mornings a week. You could pick which morning you would want, but you'd run it 3 mornings a week in preseason. And it was 380 to 395, 400 steps, which I knew. And then when you'd get to the bottom at about 5:30 in the morning, you'd turn around, and I'd always just know, like, oh, here we go, 385 steps. And I wouldn't look up or anything. I'd just start counting the steps. And that came in to my professional career about 2 years ago. I was going through something at work where we knew we were going to have a huge budget cut, and we were going to have to get through a year with about a 15 to 20% reduction as managing an Olympic sport and national teams and all these different areas that we were going to have to cut in. And the first January 1, I woke up and I thought about Toby Hill. And I knew there were 365 days that I had to get through, but I never got to the top of Toby Hill. And there was that patterning and that education that I got down there that helped me get through the year of 2017.
That builds a team as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I mean, adversity always builds a team. That can't be legal. Do they let people run Toby still? In the morning when it's foggy? You can't be running that anymore. Where's Wendy? Really? I think fluorescent visors or something. Bibs.
Let's talk about the redshirt year that you took in your career. People take redshirt years for different reasons. They get different results, but yours was very beneficial to you in your wrestling career. Is that right?
Yeah, it was. I was a 17-year-old freshman, which my mother still doesn't, ever hear the end of because my brother stayed with football. I was a small freshman who grew 4 inches and put on 40 pounds his freshman year, which should have been my senior year in high school, or else we'd probably be having a different discussion about a different sport. But I grew a lot during that year and physically matured and wrestled 40 or 50 matches and got a second season completely out of it.
Well, you ended up wrestling at heavyweight, and as you said, you make that trip to Clarion, you see Kurt Angle, who obviously was a heavyweight here. You're part of a proud tradition of Clarion wrestling, and at that weight class in particular. Is that extra special for you?
Yeah, it is. I think, there's probably, how many 4-time All-Americans have ever been in Clarion? Brian, you can speak to this. How many? Only one, huh? There's 4-time All-American over there. Kurt Angle was only 3, and he was an All-American at heavyweight as well. So, it's humbling for me to sit up here and be a part of that tradition. Where's Testa? There's another one right back here as well. So, these guys did a lot of stuff. I'm the 5th inductee on a down year.
Well, with that said, let's talk rugby now. So how did that happen? How did you make that transition in 2001? Is that right?
Can we stop for a second? How many athletes are in here? Current student athletes. Can you guys stand up just quickly? And we'll give you a round of applause because just quickly, because you're all why we're here. I need to say this. I apologize because back in the 90s, we didn't go to bars at all throughout the entire season. And I remember sitting where you were in 1995 and listening to everybody up here talk on a Friday night and just wishing it would get over with. So thank you for sitting through this. But the person that we got to see last was John Calipari. So, it was pretty special and unique. So I'll just try to keep some levity going as much as I can to get to the end of it. But, we're going to go off script. Actually, we're definitely going to go off script. What was the question you just asked? Rugby. We'll forget about rugby. Don't even worry about it. I'm going to get to the thank you part because then we have to get to the big close.
There we go.
Are we good with that?
Let's go with it.
All right, I'm standing up. So my thank yous are going to be pretty quick, and they're going to go this way. And to John's point, and Lori and Lisa and Ken, congratulations. But I'm a benefactor of sport being an educator. I grew up with a single-parent home. Sport was what filled the gap for me. And I'm going to go through a list of people that are all here tonight. And when we talk about people, like John said, my pathway is going to kind of tell a story that I didn't even know was going to be this full tonight. I have to start with my mom, where she's got her head turned. She's not yet to nursing home, but we'll sit on that. If you can, we're going to thank Mom. Can you stand up? We're going to thank my high school coaches who were my surrogate fathers, Tom and Jeff Kaler. You guys need to stand up because we're going to do this all at the end of it. No, stay up. Stay up. Then I came to Clarion because of Coach Bubb. Coach, can you stand up, please? Right? When I came to Clarion, I came down this trip because of Ray Hartley. Where is Ray? Ray brought me down. My high school coach brought me down on my trip. Ken Nellis and Jim Thornton, where are you? You guys came in my freshman year. Please, you guys both stand up. Nelly's here. Where's Thunder? Right there. All right. Lou Tripodi was my advisor when I stepped onto campus in June. Please step up, Lou. All right. Mike Cole was my RA, another Hall of Famer. Where are you, Mike? Stay up. Stay up. So, yeah, my RA. And then, obviously, Nelly was there, and we kept working through everybody that's ever shared a beer, shared a laugh, been a part of the Clarion wrestling history. Please stand up. Dave Cadis, where are you? Please stand up. Right? All the Clarion wrestlers, Beeks, you're up. Everybody that's here, you guys are all part of this. And I'm going to talk to you about this in a second. Who else is here? Where is he? Lig. Coach Lignelli. You want to stand up or just give me the high five? That's good. Okay, so we're going to finish with this. And this isn't about me, obviously. The greatest thing for tonight that I can do is what I'm about to say. and this is going to go to every wrestler in here, and we talk about legacy and we talk about tradition and opportunity. There's an opportunity that we're going to seize in the new gymnasium to name the wrestling room the Robert G. Bubb Wrestling Room. Every single person that's clapping right now that's attached to that sport or that knows the legacy of wrestling in Clarion gets the chance to be a part of doing the best thing we've ever been a part of. And we're going to make sure that we do enough fundraising to make sure that that wrestling room always carries your name, Coach. So on that, I'm going to close with, now I'm not going to write it now. I brought it for this very reason, because I think if I wait, my wife gave me approval for a certain amount. If we wait for maybe another hour or 2 hours, it's probably going to go up. All right? And it's going to be a celebration. So, Coach, on behalf of everybody here, thank you. Thanks to the Hall of Fame committee for this opportunity. Congratulations to all the inductees. And let's raise some money and go celebrate. Cheers.